Hello everyone, my name is Tony Smith and welcome to my garden. Today I want to give you 10 tips and ideas that have worked for me over this season's growing. So this isn't any things that have come before, this is for this particular season of growing. What's worked for me, what I've tried, and I thought I'll keep on implementing that next year and next year. So join me today, do subscribe and hit the thumbs up and I will tell you all my little secrets. So the first little secret is, or the first little tip or idea is to do with my strawberries. Now this is a big huge strawberry bed. And I got this idea, big thank you to Nigel at Muddy Boots, is to put down, I don't know if you can see there, some membrane, some plastic membrane to stop the weeds coming through. Now this has been a revelation on two fronts. It's stopping the weeds coming through and you get a fantastic harvest without getting any muck on them. So as you can see just on a neighbour's plot there, there's strawberries and they're lying on the ground and they're getting all dirty, they're getting, you know, there's bugs there coming as well. So we don't even wash these strawberries, you know, the rainwater is good enough for washing them. So putting that membrane on has been one of the best ideas for me for strawberry planting, without doubt. So the next little tip and bit of advice I can give you is removing bricks. What a little haven for slugs under there. So if you've got bricks lying around like I have there, get rid of them on, especially close to something like brassicas like this. It is just the ideal home for them so they can come out at the night time and, you know, enjoy the fruits of your labour. So if you can, just put in like the pins to pin down, you're protecting it from this way, but just get rid of the bricks and just pin it down so it doesn't come away. Now this idea, and it's a little bit of kind of common sense as well, but it's something, and especially it's lovely sunny day today, but it's been raining, so I haven't gotten a chance to do this job, but it's a great example to actually show you. These are some cabbages, the advantage cabbages. You can see they're hopefully getting a nice head on them there, but I'm leaving all these leaves, these bottom leaves need to come off and just be tidied away. Again, another haven for slugs. Clear all your bottom leaves off your brassicas and just in the compost bin, and it's not a little home or a haven for slugs. Now this job will get done as soon as possible. So another little tip that's worked amazing for me this year is constructing and building protection for your brassicas, but more importantly than that, making them simple. Now this example, just turning you around there, that one there is a difficult build and it took us a long time, but over the kind of this year of perfecting and trying again, I've come up with this design and it works so well. So let me just run you through it. So there's hardly anything to it. I will do a video on this, so how I kind of go about making them. Basically, just 3 hoops pushed into the raised bed, not secured or anything like that, just pushed in. A little garden cane with the cable ties on the top, and then netting just stretched over. But this is the nice and neat thing as well, is cable tied onto a cane just like that, wrap it round, and then just a nail just sticking in your raised bed and just hooked on, and then it can come off and on as quick as anything. This one over here is, in my eyes, a major disaster. Look at, again, all the bricks, all the potential for slugs and snails and puppy dog tails. It's just, and even when I've got all that off, it's hard to get into. So no more of this design and a lot more of this design, and there's a bigger one there as well, exactly the same, just a hoop with the cane, little cable tie, and again down with the nail, and you can just lift it off and tie it back under securely. Perfect, quick as you like as well. So the next little tip, and I want to thank Tony over at Simplifying Garden for this one, is potatoes, and it's more importantly, it is keeping the potatoes nice and moist underneath by using straw. So Tony on his video told you to put some straw down. Now this is like rapeseed straw, and it just works because underneath right in there is still nice and damp for the plant. That's been another revelation as well. And it knots together and binds together, and it's just it keeps the weeds down as well. So this is what I was actually using, and it's like horse bedding. It's a rapeseed horse bedding. So it's just everything just mashed up to make horse bedding, and it's by Bedwell Bedding. It is just a marvellous stuff. Now I thought as well it would blow everywhere, but it doesn't. It just binds together and gives this great protective barrier. It keeps the moisture in and stops the weeds coming up. So for the next few tips, we have to go into the polytunnel. So join me in the polytunnel and I'll show you the first idea and revelation which has totally changed me, and it is the potato hook. Now in the last polytunnel, we always kind of used canes and forever puncturing holes in the roof of your polytunnel. Do you know, the wind blew, it would squash down the actual polythene on your cane, and there's a hole as well. But this hook system, along with, if I can just show you there, the actual hooks, the ties that actually bind it to the string, the clips are just fantastic. And this is probably a good one to show you the actual weight that these hooks are doing. I mean, you can just see there, all them tomatoes there is some weight. I mean, look at that. I mean, I'll show you my hand size. There is some weight governed there, and it's all just hanging on a hoop, and it just works excellently. And what you can do is lower the hook down and let the plant still grow up more as well, so you can just keep on continuing. Fantastic idea. If you can get yourself a hold of them, just search for tomato hooks, and that's what you should be looking for. So this is a tip really that kind of it's new to us, but I've been doing it for a couple of years, so it's a little bit of a cheap one, but it's just a little bit of advice as well, like an idea. And when I've just mentioned there about the hooks, we live in the UK, in the northern hemisphere, like, you know, the northern England, and daylight runs out round about October. So if you've got like a nice big set of tomatoes like that, what I've done now is I've started to cut off the ends, and I just want the whole plant to concentrate on the tomatoes it's got, because you can see there is still loads and loads of tomatoes, and these ones up here probably won't get to that size. Do you know what I mean? And they might not actually ripen as well. So you have to, and this is like a personal preference as well, you've actually got to make a decision to cut that top off the tomato. If wherever you live in the world, you know, if you've got like a longer daylight, let them tomatoes grow, especially with the hooks. Then you can drop them down and hang them back up again at a different place, and your tomato plants will grow and grow and grow. But here in the northeast of England, like I say, we start to lose the daylight around about October, then the clocks go back and you'll never ripen anything. So make a decision and cut the tops off when you think it's the right time for you. So this year, the next tip is with aubergines for me. Now this is my first year where I've kind of been, should we say, growing them professionally, and, you know, at least trying, not just having one plant in a corner and forgetting about it. And the tip and advice I can give, and hopefully you'll follow on, is buy in grafted. Yes, so there's my aubergines. Now them four there are the grafted, and these two here are planted myself, sown seeds. I think it was probably in February. I'm yet to get any, I mean they're a healthy plant, but I'm yet to get any fruit off these plants, whereas the grafted ones, and again I'm using the string, the tomato hooks, you know, you can just see the abundance that the aubergines that I'm getting, and I'm getting more than we can actually cope with, you know, but which is a good thing. So it means I can give away my veg quite easily. But a tip what I would give, you know, don't be like concerned about buying in grafted. You know, it's not cheating, it's the, you know, you're getting a better plant, it's a way better vigorous root, and you're just getting some fruit. It's actually producing some fruit, where the ones I grew don't seem to be. I'll be lucky if I get actually anything off them this year. So one more tip or bit of advice I can give you, and again, this one has blown me away, to be honest. Each year I basically failed miserably at growing cucumbers. This year, thanks to Spring Hill Farms, I watched their video, and they're a professional garden grower in the States. Now they snip out the sucker from cucumbers, and I never knew this, so I've been doing this, as you can see, on this plant there and on this plant, and I've got one there just to show you what it is. I've left it on specifically. So if I just turn, you can see that little one there is the sucker. Just take that off and snip it off. I might have a bigger one somewhere to show you. There's a one. So this sucker, just take it off and you just get way loads more fruits. And even this little one, as you can see there, the amount of cucumbers we've been getting off these plants when I've been doing it this way, and it just keeps the plants tame. Again, I'm growing them up these tomato hook strings, and they're just, what a difference, you know. We've had so many cucumbers off all these that it's been, again, we've got far too many cucumbers, but that's a good thing, and it means we can grow and give away more veg. And there's a nice big sucker as well, so we'll get that one off as well and get rid of it. So the last tip, trick or idea comes courtesy of Green Side Up. Steve over there, about 60 miles over in the Cockermouth area of Cumbria. I asked Steve for a little tip, and his tip is fantastic. Don't grow tomatoes or potatoes close to each other or on the same bed because of blight. Now again, this is something that I might have just, you know, blundered straight into and never thought about it. So do consider that. Don't grow your tomatoes anywhere near your potatoes, because that blight can jump over, and once you've got blight on, your crop's ruined. So big thank you to Steve, Green Side Up. I'll put a link in the description to Steve's site. So there you go. There are some tips and tricks and ideas over this growing season of from January to July 2020 that I've come across that's worked fantastic for me. If you're going to implement them in your growing season as well, trust me, they'll work, and they do amazing things. The potatoes just work so perfectly. So simple idea. The tomato hooks, building like a frame over your cabbages, but making it easy so you can take it to bits once the season's finished. These little tips and ideas I found just invaluable. So hopefully you're getting a little bit out of that. Like, again, do think about subscribing and clicking the like button. Tell me a tip, that would be fantastic. Put it in the comments below. What's a good little tip that I haven't even mentioned here that I might not even know about? If I can find more, that's what it's gold dust for gardeners. So let us know a good little tip below. Look after yourselves, take good care.